The amazing thing is, people often come to the Tantra workshops and they're looking for one thing. And the one thing they're looking for is better sex, longer orgasms, more extended lovemaking sessions, and just generally to be more orgasmic with their partner and have a more improved sexual relationship. Now, the wonderful thing is, in our workshops, they get to learn these things. You know, we present a whole variety of practices that they get to immediately experience during the workshop. But the most amazing thing is that when they practice these practices, not only does their connection improve with their own sexuality and the sexual connection with their partner, but they take that into their whole life outside the bedroom. So if you're here communicating with your partner about your desires, fears, and boundaries for this lovemaking session, you know, and then you have this lovemaking session, that's a wonderful thing. You can improve and include all these different desires that you had and the fears and boundaries into your lovemaking. But I guarantee you, later on, after the workshop, 3 weeks later, when you have to have a communication practice with your partner, or you have to talk about something unpleasant or difficult, and you remember those desires, fears, and boundaries that you can discuss before everything you do together, you will find that that so improves your relationship. Because the tantric practices that we do are almost an excuse. I like to say that, you know, they're almost an excuse for coming into what's really real, what's really present. You know, when people come with these great expectations to the workshop, they get all that, but they learn so much more for their whole life. And that's why I always like to say the work that we teach is great for what you do in the bedroom, and it's great for what you do in the boardroom.
People ask me what to expect when I come to a workshop, you know, a tantric workshop. And most people feel fear at first, you know, because they're thinking about sex, they're thinking about what's going to be exposed, right? And it can be scary. But you know what? Tantra is about your whole life, how to open up and live more. And when I think about Tantra, the first things I think about is just the word yes. Yes is an expansive word, and that's how I want to live my life, from that perspective of yes. But somehow sex is a good catalyst for bringing around deeper connection, and especially great sex. You know, when you're really looking at your partner having great sex, you know, you feel a deeper connection. When you begin communicating, right, either verbally or with body language, a lot of times you just feel that connection without anything hindrance in the way, right? Those places, I always hope that there are learning that you can take into your normal life, where you can like look at your partner when you're not having sex, but using those skills that you learned in great sex, in great tantric sex. Well, maybe you were even having a spiritual connection or a spiritual experience, and use that in everyday life. When you smell a rose, does that make you want to have a full body orgasm, that smell of that rose? It could. Does that bring your heart just open, just that smell or that thought or that vision or whatever it happens to be? All of that is perfect. Sex in Tantra is a tool to bring you to a different level of consciousness. And those tools you can use away from sex also, or what do you mean away? Can be used separate from sex also. The same tools can be used separately as a tool for expansion, as a spiritual path. And so Tantra is not all about sex. It's just one important key to help us get into a higher state of consciousness.